Okay, now we're going to talk about the simple present and the present progressive. And this is the grammar explanation that you can find on pages 3, 4, and 5 in your book. Okay, we use the simple present for general facts and permanent situations. So we have people form a first impression within 30 seconds. First impressions influence what a person thinks about you. I dress conservatively at work. Okay, these are generally again and again things that happen, things that often happen as a habit, always happen. We use the simple present to describe routines and habits. The teacher asks a lot of questions. We work for 8 hours a day. These are things that are done again and again. You can use time expressions such as always, usually, often, sometimes, never, on Mondays, once a week, 2 days a week, and twice a month. Okay. The hiring manager always writes a report after an interview. Okay. When I use always, I'm probably going to use the simple present and not the progressive. We usually follow her recommendations. She doesn't interview candidates on Mondays. And notice how I make the negative for the simple present. We discuss the manager's reports once a week. We use the simple present for routines, scheduled events, and timetables. Like the office opens at 9 a.m. every day. The train to Boston departs from platform 11 at 2 p.m. Does the meeting always begin at noon? Yes, it does. And notice how I do a question and a short answer in the simple present. Okay, data from the real world. This means things they have found by research of native speakers. Research shows that we use some adverbs with simple present more often in academic writing than in speaking. For example, typically, frequently, traditionally are used more often in writing. The interview typically takes 3 hours. But these adverbs are used in both speaking and writing, generally, usually, normally. The team generally meets on Tuesdays. How do you normally handle complaints? Okay, then going to page 4, talking about the present progressive, which is the same thing as the present continuous. Okay, use the present progressive to describe what is in progress now or around the present time. Mr. Rask is interviewing a candidate at the moment. That means the interview is happening now. We are interviewing candidates all month. Interviews may not be in progress now, but they are in progress during the month. During this month, they are happening. Okay, use the present progressive to describe temporary events or changing situations. I am studying stereotypes in the workplace. When I say that, it means my studies will end soon. That's a typo. I have to change that. Studies will end soon in the future. Okay, and there's some more data from the real world, some more research. Research shows that we often use the present progressive for habits that are noteworthy or unusual. This is sometimes, but not always, because these habits are undesirable. If something is bad is happening, I often use it, the present perfect, and use something like constantly or always for emphasis. And constantly is more formal than always. She is always disturbing me when I'm trying to study. My boss is constantly asking me to stay late at work. This is an unusual way to use the progressive because I am talking about it again and again. I am talking about this again and again. However, it's a special use of the present progressive. It's like I'm complaining about something that happens again and again. I'll use the present perfect. Another thing that happens is the present progressive form is also common with verbs that describe changing or temporary situations. Okay, the workers of that store are constantly changing. Every week there's someone new. We are always looking for new ideas and people with special talents. Okay, so this emphasizes something that changes and is temporary. And this is, again, a special way to use the present progressive that is unusual.